Oh, picked the wrong overlay. What's up, everyone? It's the Backliners podcast. What is going on, dude? My brain is already melted. This is gonna be an episode, Barra. I am.
Are you okay, dude?
No, who knows what this episode is gonna be like. I am tired. It was a long week. My brain is completely rotted. And for reasons that you will find out very shortly, dear listener, it has been incredibly difficult to stay mentally focused.
Dear poor listeners about to hear this story.
Yeah, I would like. Okay, let's just start off with the story. Okay, let's start off with it, and then that way we can stay locked in and talk SPL after that. I would like to warn the audience now that the story you're about to hear is, number one, true, unfortunately for me. Number two, very PG-13 and not child appropriate.
Yeah, so if you're a child, if you're that 14-year-old from last stream, you're barely old enough you're on the line here, so maybe you
just make
out.
sure, make sure
you better be a mature 14-year-old, okay?
Bear, you eating a banana during this story is particularly funny, by the way.
Sorry, I just got home from the gym. I don't have time to shower or anything, and I'm hungry.
All right, well, let's get into it, shall we, chat? So, our event starts on Tuesday, and I wake up Tuesday morning excited for placements to start, excited for the event to kick off, and I'm feeling a little bit. God, why am I telling this story to this podcast? I wake up and I'm a little.
Yeah, I don't know what details you're gonna give.
I don't know. I'm giving too much already, man. I'm giving too much already. This is a huge mistake. I'll bet you Aaron from Prediction is sitting there like, what is he about to say?
Oh God.
He has not heard this story. Here's the deal, chat. I woke up and my manscaped area wasn't feeling too good. Okay, it was hurting in a way that, I wasn't particularly fond of. And if you're anything like me and your health teacher in health class in like middle school talked to you about testicular torsion, you've been terrified of it ever since. Because I have been terrified of it ever since. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go to an urgent care right before work. I'll be a little late. It'll be fine. Everything will be good. Go to the urgent care. First one's a 2-hour wait. Obviously not doing that. Drive to a different urgent care. And I get there, and the doctor takes a look. Thank God I had used my Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 recently, because that would have been very embarrassing otherwise. I will say, I'll say that in a little bit. And sure enough, the doctor goes, yep, you should go to the hospital and get an ultrasound, because you might have some torsion going on. So when I go to the ER, I wasn't on broadcast at all on Tuesday because I spent all day at the hospital. To shorten the story, that was not what was happening. Everything was okay-ish. But I've basically been it feels like since Tuesday, so today's Sunday, for the last like 5 days, I have constantly felt as if I was very recently kicked in my Manscaped region, 24/7, nonstop. I don't know if you guys can tell. I was thinking about this as Vera takes another bite of his banana. Like our weight screen on broadcast, how it's like you can kind of see us moving to the desk. I wonder if anyone noticed me like shuffling my feet to the desk, and like the way I have to get into the chair, I'm like the whole way down, like I'm moving like I'm 65 years old at all times, and therefore it has been it was a really long week, chat. It was a really long week, and they expect the symptoms to
for you.
What's that?
Was it a hard week for you?
In some ways, no, but in most ways, yes. Come on, Barra, you can't be doing that to me, man. I've got to slam. I can't not dunk that ball, like.
I know. I threw it up there. You just slam dunked it.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
Oh.
So yeah,
remembering.
It's been a long week, and my weeks will continue to be long. I'm gonna feel like this for like 2 to 4 weeks, which is really unlucky for me, especially because I'm going on a 12-hour drive, like this week back to Pittsburgh to see my family for Christmas. So that'll be fun. And this is all a true story, but also a desperate plea. First of all, if you guys are ever feeling pain down there, it doesn't make any sense. Go to the doctor because it could be very serious. But also that if that ever happens to you, you really want to have recently used Manscaped, because I had a lot of strangers poking and prodding, okay? And thank God they didn't have to go through the weeds. Am I right, Vera? Because the weed whacker, that's what they've, okay, I'm not going there.
Chad is actually hilarious right now. Your balls did not thank you this week.
They did not. Well, maybe
it's the only ball he can dunk right now.
Listen, man. Listen, man.
I can't.
It's yeah. I'm convinced, I walked out of there or limped or dragged my feet out of there with everything intact, and I'm convinced that if I didn't have Manscaped, that I might have been 50% lighter down there. Hey fellas, here's the beginning of the ad, by the way. Hey fellas, this episode of the Backliners, this one in particular, is brought to you by our favorite producers of ball trimmers, Manscaped. The global leaders in below-the-waist grooming are leaving 2021 with new products. Clean yourself into the new year with their ultra-premium body wash. Also, special offer alert, ! Use the code BACK for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. 4 million men already trust Manscaped. Time to talk to them, or time to join them. Why would we talk to them? That wasn't it. Yeah, listen, chat. This is Vera is losing it, dude. This is gonna be a really great episode, I can tell.
Just remember the part of the story that you didn't.
That I didn't tell them. Should I tell them, you think?
Yeah, it's too funny not to, bro.
Okay,
it's
okay.
Actually...
So I end my day on Tuesday by going to the urologist because they determined at the ER that, everything's okay. And I go to the urologist, and first of all, I'm the only person under, 70 years old at this urologist office. And then I finally get in there, and again, he's getting a full view thanks to me clearing the way with my lawnmower. And in all its glory. And at one point, he iron grips me, chat. I swear this man's hands, they were white. He was grabbing so hard, with the tension, he was Arthur Fist, and he goes, and this guy goes to me, he goes, any discomfort? What? Bear's gonna throw up. He goes, any discomfort? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, it was a little uncomfortable.
Spit out the water, dude. I could not swallow. Oh, I'm actually lightheaded, bro. Okay.
Yeah, it was an experience. But no, not trolling. All of this happened. It's a true story. And not trolling, multiple times during that hellhole of a day was I thank goodness we have a Manscaped sponsorship so that I wasn't embarrassing myself. I was clean and groomed. So again, make sure that you guys, if you're ever in my horrendous position, that you go ahead and have cleaned up with Manscaped. And good news, everyone. You get 20% off and free shipping with the code BACK at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code BACK Happy New Year to your balls. Maybe not mine. Manscaped.com/back. Weird that they wrote that in there. They didn't. I made that part up. All right. Smite. Yeah, let's talk about some Smite, shall we?
Sure.
So it started on Tuesday with the SEC teams. Yeah, for some of you guys, not me. Winter Dogs versus Captain Odie Fan Club. I don't know how much you watched of these sets, Barra, because they were Group A.
I watched them for fun. I watched Winter Dogs, so I think they were scrimming Sleekness, so I wanted to see if they were showing anything. But it was kind of I was just watching like everyone but Benny Q basically, because Benny just plays whatever he wants.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, just see if I can get any information that way.
Did they leak anything that way, Barra? Did you?
No, they didn't.
Unlucky.
No, I didn't learn anything on.
Well, Winter Dogs beat Captain Odie Fan Club. You know, just felt like ping diff. I mean, Winter Dogs definitely came out and looked really good. So you know, apologies for sure to that situation for them and for Elysium and for the Valks. But same deal with Elysium.
Yep.
You know, unlucky, but that's the way it goes. All right, moving on to Wednesday. When the SPL team started playing, Leviathans and Winter Dogs played Wednesday. Leviathans did what we expected and just kind of owned them. I don't remember any of these sets, I'm realizing now. This was all a blur. Wait, I wasn't there I was still recovering on Wednesday, so I wasn't there at all.
Well, the games were just very one-sided, I'll say. I think Zap was like out of position a few times, but I don't think Zap really cared. Like, I mean, that sounds like bad to say, but it's just like it's a disrespectful form of play,
right?
Like for Zap to die in those situations, because it's just like they're not actually gonna kill me. They're not actually gonna like gank. You know, it's just all that.
Right.
Which just sometimes just happens. Like you're just like. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, I got ganked. Oh, again. Oh, that's unlucky. You know, like,
right.
Gosh darn it, we're still gonna win this game. Like,
yeah, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, basically.
Because they're gonna keep on owning. Yeah, I feel the same way. That game, you know, Leviathan's just on a different level right now, I would say.
Yep.
All right, then it was the Solar Scarabs and the Oni Warriors version 1. The first time they played. Let me get this out of the way now.
Okay.
There's no way for me. I don't know what Barry's takes are going to be, but there's no way for me to not speak about the Oni Warriors in some harsh terms today.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's the way it's going to have to be. I love all those guys. They're one of my favorite teams to hang out with and talk with. I think they're all great dudes and great Smite players. And they should tune out now if they don't want to be upset.
I mean, they're obviously some of the best to have ever played Smite, but this is not even close to what we expect, you know?
No, not at all. And it started with this set on Wednesday. You know, the Warriors go up 2-0, and, you know, the way
scary plays for the Warriors.
Yeah, scary plays for the Warriors, apparently. Which is horrible to think about, dude. I mean, at some point, I was talking about this with the other casters. I think at some point, we kind of have to talk about it again. This is going to sound harsh, but, you know, it is what it is. We kind of have to talk about that trio core, especially of Vote, Nika, Dardes, as struggling at these events and struggling in big moments.
Yep.
Because you just can't get reverse swept this many times and have it all be bad luck, right? Like, at some point, there has to be some responsibility there. And there always is. But to be reverse swept this many times is a weakness. It has to be at this point. I just don't see another way that we can put it.
I feel like you can kind of see it on their faces. What are you guys doing? Stop fighting. I feel like you can kind of see it on their faces sometimes, where like some players just show their emotions a bit more, and they just look so stressed out.
Yep.
And not like down, but just like you can just tell they're in a very stressful situation.
Yeah.
And I think once that game 3 happened in the round 1 of whatever the first time they played.
Yep.
I think that was just I don't know, man. I completely agree with you. It's just that stigma is just attached to them now. Like they cannot get rid of that.
Yep.
And it just sucks because they're so good.
They're so good.
Like that entire team could win Worlds.
Yep, 100%.
But
that roster was absolutely capable of winning Worlds.
It's nothing against Scarabs.
Nope.
Absolutely nothing against Scarabs. Because Scarabs were playing the best Smite they played all year.
Yep.
And Warriors are just... We expect more, basically.
Yeah. I mean, when you've got this roster, you know, there's going to be expectations. Neil's won back-to-back world championships. And, you know, Neil's been on the show. He's a great friend of mine. But obviously Neil did not... I thought Neil had a really rough weekend. Did not play to his level at all. And, you know, the thing that really baffled me, and I guess it's more talking about their more recent set that happened today, and we'll get into that one more specifically in a bit, but it's not even just, like, execution and that kind of stuff. It's I don't think their drafting was very good. I thought their building was awful. I thought their target selection wasn't good. Like, I didn't feel like they were just playing, like, they weren't even playing well individually with, like, the things that you can always control. And
yeah, true.
I feel like build mistakes are mental. Like, those are just mental mistakes, and not thinking about the game, not thinking about your game plan, not thinking about the game holistically. And that tells me that they were in their own heads, that they were really stressed, and they were, you know, second guessing themselves all the time, to the point where they were, like, building wrong. And I think that, you know, maybe that's his heart really wasn't in it sort of take, but I just don't see them build that poorly ever. And I don't know why they would start today. So I don't know. Definitely crazy.
I mean, I don't know if I should do this, but I'm going to do it. It's just we see, like, teams like Kings where they had EU players.
Yep.
Or people playing from EU ping, sorry.
Yep.
And they were performing really well. And I feel like we can't use the excuse that they were playing from Europe for like 10 months or 11 months of the year. Because we saw other teams doing that and succeeding.
Yep.
So, like, yeah, you were playing on high ping all year, but this team did it. So, like, how does that not translate? You've been building synergy. Yeah, your plays might have been slightly different, but you've been building synergy all year.
Right.
Let
me put it this way.
I don't know if that's scummy for me to say.
I think it's a completely fair take. And I think that, like, if they were here all year, would their year have ended the same way? Almost certainly not. I do think things are different, but it does not... I don't think it's valid to use that as, like, oh, you know, they weren't incapable of doing more because of their situation. They were certainly capable of going to Worlds. They were certainly capable of doing well at Worlds. And while being, you know, playing from over in Europe was a factor, like you said, the Kings did it too, and were able to do it. There you go. Dardes is in the chat. He says, Dardes, you're a masochist for listening to us talk about your team today.
True, dude.
Dardes says, it is true, but 110 UK ping is not the same than the 140 to 160 Denmark ping for Fred, and he's also a jungler, which is, like, the biggest impact of all the Smite. 100% true. It is different.
I agree with that take.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I think that what we're saying is you know, a fair analysis by my estimation. But the Scarabs, you know, I was worried about them wanting it too much and, you know, putting themselves in their own head and all that kind of stuff. But I was very impressed with their mental toughness, you know, being down 2-0. They played really well. They bounced back. I thought they adjusted really well to what the Warriors were doing, and really deserved. You know, that was an earned reverse sweep on Wednesday for sure.
Yeah, I'll say the first two games, your take came into my mind. I was like, man, they are actually playing really bad.
Yeah.
And then, like, some switch just flipped, and their drafting got way better into what Warriors were doing.
Yep.
And then they just carried that style of drafting on. I don't know. I don't remember what they were drafting, honestly, in Game 1 and Game 2. But I just remember like seeing that and thinking that in my mind of wow, they're like actually playing what they should be playing in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
game
it just
one
started
they
working.
played like the Zeus Ganesh stuff. Scream was on Erlong. Sot played Thor. And then the next game they played Neath mid with Naja and Yamoja and Mulan and Freya. And that didn't look great. And then they swapped it up. They went to second pick, it looks like. And then Baronic was playing Charybdis, Bobby was on Sylvanas, Scream was on Gilgamesh, like the stuff that they've been kind of playing all year. And Scream played Naja a lot this set. That character isn't good, by the way. I'm still convinced.
It's good for him in the way that they want to play, because I think, well, from an outside perspective, it seems like Scream is like the biggest calmer / like shot caller, and from playing against him, he'll just like ult a frontline and they will just full commit to the frontline.
Sino.
And
the Sino style.
Yeah, exactly. It was happening in Scrims and it was also happening in SPL, and he's just been playing it really well. And I think when you have that target selection and when you can blow up a frontliner like they were and like they have been, I think it's really good for them. Don't know how many other teams are going to be playing Nasha, but it seems to be working very good for Scream, and I think it was banned from him quite a bit.
Yeah, he got it banned like basically all week from that point on. Dude, that 1v3 he had game 5 by the Fire Giant was absolutely insane. Like, absolutely. He just played that. He played a fight so well and turned the whole fight, bought like a ton of time, and I guess Naja was good there. Credit to him. They made it look good.
It is really hard to hit a Naja if he hits the ring bounce. That man just starts racing around.
Yeah, you're slow, he fast. See you later. It is definitely tough. All right, then on Thursday, Jade Dragons like absolutely crushed Sleekness. There was one game that Sleekness looked competitive. I think it was game 2. Where Oath got off to a really good start. He ended that game 6-1. He had all 6 of their kills that game, which is pretty funny. But the other 2 games were sub 20 minutes. Just not even close. Looked a lot like the Jade Dragons of like last year. Just kind of like imposing will on.
It was just
where they wanted to be.
It playing against that Mercury is quite the treat, and it is not fun to play against Sam's Merc because he's kind of everywhere and nowhere at the same time, like pressure wise. Because like he'll stay off the map for a very long time, and then you're like you don't know which lane he's about to gank. And if I get my beads burnt, then I start losing alphas, and I start losing purples because PK can just force that, and it's not fun to play against that.
Yeah, that is definitely one of his signature picks. I'm looking at because he got it all 3 games, and I'm looking at these picks and bans, and I'm seeing that Sleekness banned Kleedna all 3 games. And now I'm checking to see if Sam ended up playing Kleedna at all. And I do not believe he did. Yeah, he did not. So, I
mean, it could have just been a strong pick in scrims, and they just think it's an OP, like, quote unquote, like, OP, like, uncounterable pick, and they just want to get it out. Or they don't play it, so they just. I think they played it today, actually.
Yeah, they played it a lot, I think. I think Kirmi was playing it a lot. Dude Man Bro said he wanted to ban it, and Oath says that they thought it was OP. So that makes sense. But unfortunate. That's what good players do to you, though. They're like, you got to ban this, and then they just own you with something else, and you're like, unlucky.
Good teams will have, like, 2 or 3 team comps or, like, similar team comps where they can kind of, like, sub out, like, 1 or 2 picks in each slot.
Right.
And that's what Dragons do.
Yep.
And it's just like, this is so frustrating to play against.
Yeah,
so trust me, I know how you guys felt.
I was actually thinking about it. I think that not enough teams are good enough. I think that I should be able to sit down with like any player on any team and say, what is your team's play style? Like what is your how do you guys think you should be winning games? And I think that I should get coherent, succinct answers back that aren't just like winning. You know what I mean? Like it should be like, for Dragons, for example, it should be that, they clearly are liking pressure mids that have strong team fight presence. They want to win their side lanes, and they want to and they want to play through pressure in every lane. Like that's what they want to do. And then every single pick should then match with that identity. Like it shouldn't be, you should be able to look at every single draft a team does and go, this is, if this fits their style and this is exactly what they want to do. And maybe you should have a comp or two that can go against the grain and that kind of stuff, some counter picks and that kind of stuff. But I think that, like, if for a team like the Valkyries, whenever they were playing up against Sleekness and they were going with these initiator, just support initiating compositions, this Athena comp that they wanted to go in, then reset and kind of like cascade through a team fight, they should be able to make every pick work with that. And it shouldn't be, oh, we got these picks working with it, and then this one, but hell is OP or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I think that every single comp should match your team's identity. And I think that's something that League of Legends teams are really, really good at. And, maybe it's because they have really big coaching staffs and analysts and all that kind of stuff. But I think that that's kind of like one of the next steps I foresee in Smite. And teams have gotten way better at it this year, but I think it's like there's so much room to grow in that zone. And it makes you more predictable in picks and bans, but if you're good, like, it won't matter. That's just my opinion.
Well, trust me, and I can say it is hard to play against dragons when they are playing the full Smork duo style. That is very suffocating. And I think we finally found like resources that we can use against that style, or like little things we can do, and we kind of exploited in our set versus them. But yeah, when a team has an identity like that, it's really hard to play against.
Yeah, I think that having a team identity is big, and
also,
yeah, I think it's important.
I think Valks literally learned how to draft in their last game ever.
I know, dude. I know.
I was just like, bruh.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to talk about that set, man. I have so many thoughts about that set.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I keep bouncing.
It's all good. All right, then it was Leviathans in the Scarabs on Friday. This one
3-1, I think, right?
Yeah, 3-1 Leviathans. Scarabs won game 2. Overall, I came away from this week thinking about the Scarabs in particular, that Scream is definitely in contention for most underrated SPL player of all time. I don't think, I know he gets a lot of credit, but he probably still deserves more. Absolutely insane player. And Stewart also got 3 times as good as he was whenever he joined the SPL in a very short amount of time. And Baronic also obviously improved a lot throughout this year, but I think Stu hard carried a lot of games and a lot of fights in a way that he was not capable of doing when he first joined the league. And it's hard to not be really impressed with Stu and with Scream, I think, after this week.
Yep, completely agree. And I'm also very impressed with Bobby when Bobby's on the picks that I think he should be playing.
Yep.
Bobby will hit the sickest Sylvanas pools that I have ever seen next to they're like Jeff tier pools, and I'm just like, all right, Bobby, all right, that was sick. I can respect that. And then he'll play other picks where in my opinion, you shouldn't be playing, and his impact and performance is just very low. And I think when Bobby's playing those styles of gods that I like him on, and he looks really good. I don't think he's doing his inting thing anymore, where he just dies around the map randomly in the early mid game. I think he had one weird death after a fire giant. I don't remember what set that was.
Yeah, he had a couple weird deaths this weekend still, I think, but it wasn't. Yeah. It was better. Still, it was better. It's it's baby steps. But yeah, I mean, Leviathans win games in 24, 21, and 23 minutes. They blow them out in 3 out of those 4 games. It shows that the Scarabs are definitely a really good team that has a lot of potential, but when we're talking about teams like the Leviathans and the Titans, I think that there is still an upper echelon there in the SPL that they still need to, and that's the beautiful thing about Worlds. you can. That doesn't matter that much. Like, obviously it does matter, but was SK or PK last year in the upper echelon of SPL? No. Like, no, sure. Absolutely not. They just were for one weekend, and that's all it takes, which is what makes it really exciting. And also why single elim for Worlds is way better. Anyways.
I hate single elim for Worlds.
No, it's good, Barry. It's good.
I think it's so stupid. So stupid.
Double elim in big tournaments for MOBAs is dumb. Double elim in fighting games, awesome. Double elim, the way we did this tournament, totally fine. I think it's cool. That's fine by me. This tournament, like this placement round, double elim, fine. Double elim at Worlds, absolutely stupid.
Oh, you're so stupid.
What should the winning side team's advantage be, Barra?
I don't know. High five?
So you don't think there should be any advantage for the team that comes out of winner side?
No. Honestly, okay, it might be troll, but maybe you get a 1-game advantage in finals or something.
That's so anti-hype, dude. That is so anti-hype.
I mean, I'm sure there's a way to give an advantage to a MOBA team.
And that's why I hate double elim, because I don't think there's a good advantage for winning side teams in a MOBA.
In my opinion, every Worlds in Smite should have been double elim, like since the beginning.
Nope.
I think double elim at Worlds, literally the biggest, most important tournament of the year with the most viewership, should be the longest tournament in the year. Like, it should be the most hyped tournament. Like, I think 6 teams at Worlds is kind of lame, because you can watch your favorite team play for one set and they're out. That's it. They're done.
Should have won.
Yeah, but not everyone can win. That's my point.
That's why it's good, Barra.
No,
that's
in
why
quarterfinals. It's good. No, that's why it's bad.
No, that's why it's good.
That's such a bad take.
People in chat saying let the winning side choose first pick. Okay, chat, imagine if a team, like, let's say the Bolts, let's take like this, this quarterfinal that they're going to end up playing. They play the Leviathans. Imagine they beat the Leviathans. They came in with a hot strat, absolutely crush them. 3-0, totally shock the world, all that kind of stuff. They go through winner side. Bolts are cruising. They are cruising. They're doing well. Leviathans battle back and then end up facing the Bolts in the finals. And then they win in a 5-game set. But hey, the Bolts got first pick. They got to choose first or second pick in game 1. That would feel so bad. They earned eliminating that team. Let them eliminate them.
No. Loser bracket runs are literally the most hype runs in all of esports. In literally every esport, loser bracket runs are hype. Dude,
sure.
I'm just saying, Worlds can be over in like what? We could see how many games? What? I'm just trying to
there's 2 quarterfinals, 2 semifinals, and a final. So it's 5 sets. Could go 25 games total if everything went the distance.
But what's the lowest amount of games?
Lowest amount of
9
games would be 6 times 5. Or 3 times 5. So 15.
15 games. That's not that bad, actually. But
it's just, Barra, I just think that from a narrative perspective, loser bracket runs are cool. They're cool.
Okay, thank you.
They are. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think that what makes them so sick is that they have to climb such a mountain, right? Like, fighting games are the best double elim esport because bracket resets are by far the best way to do it. Resetting a bracket.
What about like Halo?
How does Halo do their winner side advantage? Do they bracket reset?
I think you have wait, no. You have a full best of 5 that you have to play again because you haven't lost yet.
Right, that's a bracket reset. Like, if you lose the best of 5, you play another best of 5.
Yep.
We can't do that in a MOBA. Can you imagine playing 2 best of 5s back to back?
Well, don't do a best of 5. Just do like a best of 7 with a 1-game advantage.
We did what? Remember the Smite Masters where we did a best of 7 and it went with a 1-game advantage, and it took like 8 hours, and everyone was so tired and so out of it by the end of it.
And was it hype?
I guess kinda. Do you remember the 2 teams that did it?
I want to say it was like Dig and Rival.
Yeah, it was Dig Rival. Yeah, it was fine, but I don't like best of 7. It's too much. Like, it's too much. A best of 5 is fine. And look, I understand what everyone's saying. I think that, expanding the group stages, explaining the placement round, all that kind of stuff, doing double elim like we've done at this placement round makes tons of sense.
I think it's dumb that SEC and SOC to qualify for Worlds qualities got a double elim, but Worlds is single elim.
Well, it's placement round is double elim, and then the World Championship stage is single elim.
No, but I think that they had a double elim to enter this tournament.
They did. They had a double elim to enter this tournament, and then this tournament was double elim, except for that first round. Which, obviously things got a little messed up with us having to play stuff online and that kind of stuff. We had to make some adjustments, which was unfortunate. But, I just think that when it comes down to the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals of Worlds, I think that you can totally do double elim to qualify there. That's totally fine by me. But I really like going to quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. It's do or die. You got to make the run, and you just got to win there. And, you got to show up on that weekend. Because think about how awesome these last 2 Worlds have been, having PK and SK make these runs. Like, do either of those teams win Worlds in a double elim? Probably not.
I mean, I don't know. Are you a fortune teller?
No. But I know that but watch last year's World Finals and tell me that you like PK and another best of 5 after that. Because I sure don't.
No, I'm not saying they should do another best of 5.
But
I don't think they should ever.
All right, listen to this, Barra. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Smite World Championships. It's our championship Sunday. We're so excited, and the Atlantis Leviathans are already up 1-0 because they're coming from winner side. That's lame. What if we only get 2 games?
Well, if it would be a best of 7 then.
But no one wants best of 7. It's too much.
Okay, there's got to be some advantage that people can figure out. I'm just always a fan of double elim. I think double elim is so much better than single elim.
And it is double elim for like everything besides the last 3 sets. And I think that is the best way to do it.
Well, this is like one of the first times it's been double elim, right?
Yes, yeah. And I think that, obviously there's been a lot of discussion about this format, and a lot of it, I think, got screwed up because of the pandemic situation and all that kind of stuff. But I think that if we were to have everyone in LAN, in studio, on LAN, and do it that way, where it's double elim to get to Worlds, and then ideally it would be at an event, a Cobb Energy Center sort of thing, and that should all be single elim, all of it. I want the danger. I want the feeling. I want to look in someone's face and know that this might be their last game of the year, as often as possible.
You are evil.
That's what competition's about, Barra. That's what it's about. The threat of losing is the only thing that makes competition worth doing.
Well, yeah, that's why loser bracket runs are high.
No, it takes away some of the threat of losing.
What?
Anyways,
you say loser bracket runs are not high?
No, I'm saying they are. I already agreed with you that they are. I'm just saying that in the finals, there's no way in a MOBA to make it fair for a double elim Worlds finals.
There's got to be some way.
If you tell me, I will forward it up the chain. If you can figure out a good advantage that isn't anti-hype or best of 7, or bracket reset.
I mean, okay. I also just like that a team, like, say, Kings or... I don't know. I'm not... I don't know how open I can be here. I don't know. I just think it's lame that you can just watch your favorite team play potentially 3 games and they're out. Like, I really don't like that part of it.
Yep. Hey, man. In the NFL, your team can get 1 game, and they're out. NFL is just 1 game. That's it. And that's what makes the Super Bowl runs amazing. And as Goremizer intelligently said in chat, single elim is just all a loser's run, and it's all hype. You know, losers runs are all hype. All right, let's talk about the set that you guys had up against the Jade Dragons, because this one, speaking of hype, was pretty solid.
It was a fun set.
It definitely was a fun set to watch. Game 1, you guys actually end with more kills, but ultimately lose that game. This was the mannequin hidden blade Neath game from Hurry. How much did he ever ult you?
Oh yeah.
With that, how much does it do?
I think he ulted me on. Wait, I think he ulted. They were hard camping Haddix. I want to say game 1, but then late game I got like ulted every shot.
And how much does the Hidden Blade proc plus Titan's Bane plus Heartseeker, like how much was that doing to you?
It's about 1,200 or 1,300.
Awesome. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
But obviously not fun to play against.
Yeah. I mean, they just completely shut down like what I wanted to do and what we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Which was how like we had drafted. But we were testing the waters game 1 to see like if they were going to draft the same things in against Sleekness, then they would draft against us. So we kind of left everything open, like the Merc, Neath, and all that. Mm-hmm. And then they dumpster us with it, and we're like, okay, we have to like start dismantling this one piece at a time and kind of see like what is actually the win con for them here.
I don't know if it was one piece at a time, Barry. You banned your first game. You banned Zeus, Erlong, Camazotz, and then game 2, you banned 3 totally different gods, and all 3 were gods they just played. They had Odin, Yamoja, Merc were their top 3 picks, and then you guys banned Yamoja, Odin, Neath the next game. So you guys just like forced them to switch comps entirely.
Yeah, it was like we wanted to ban out the front line because we thought we could play into that front line, and they drafted like the front line that we expected them to draft there, and then we thought like our comp would just beat it, but we didn't get a big advantage early game, and I think we misplayed the early game a fair bit as well in that game. And then game 2, I think it was just the Merc kept running the game, and we didn't want to ban it second phase. I don't remember what. We had like a big discussion about banning it second phase, but we decided against it. And I was still unable to play the game 2. So just, it's really hard to like regain the pressure. Even if the Merc ult's down, I still have to like be cautious of ganks a little bit. And it's just a really suffocating character to play against with the way that they play. So we just had to start banning it after game 2, basically. And the games got so much easier once we started banning it.
Yeah, next game you guys banned Zeus, Mercury, Neath, and Hurry played Scylla this game. I don't know why people keep picking Scylla. I think this god is poo-poo, but you know, people keep picking it. Went 1-1 this weekend, I believe, but Boronic didn't exactly own the game that they picked it. At least in hitting players, he owned and securing Fire Giants, which is a big part of picking this god. So you know, he was doing that well. But yeah, I feel like this game 3 was Jake's best game by a mile. He played Yamoja. You guys played the Yamoja Medusa duo lane. Haddix was on Herc. Like this was just kind of a lot of the good stuff for you guys that you played basically all week.
Yeah, that comp felt very good for us, and then we were finally able to get some momentum back in the early mid stages of that game. And once we started getting momentum, we felt like we could just win the series outright if we just kept up playing the way we wanted to play. And I mean, it's kind of sucky to like test the waters like we did game 1 and game 2, but I mean against a team like Dragons, you just don't know what they've been practicing for that long, and we don't know if they actually showed, like I said, what they played against Sleekness or if they were still hiding things.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know if it's testing the waters was the right idea, but yeah. Yeah, definitely game 3 gave us a bit of momentum.
Excuse me. Yeah, game 4, you guys were up really big in this game, and then it looked like they might come back and win this one, but you guys hung on in the end. Were you worried at any point during that game 4?
No, I was pretty confident we could close it out regardless of what happened. It was just like a feeling in the game that we could just win it.
And then game 5, obviously does not go your way. Hurry had a big game on the Zhonghui. Mike played really well on Khepri, basically his whole set. I think this might have been Mike's best set of the year. And it made a big difference for them for sure. Everyone's talking about the lack of Zhonghui ban. Any comments on that?
I think leaving the Zong up was completely fine. I think we had so many individual mistakes during that game that it doesn't really matter what we picked him banned. We would have lost.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think we made too many positioning mistakes, too many misplays around the map to beat a team like Dragons that game, unfortunately. We still took it to like the Fire Giant dance stage, but we were out of position a lot during the Fire Giant fights, and we couldn't like get to the positions that we wanted to force the fights at Fire. So they kept getting positional advantage and they kept getting poke advantages as well, which made the game really difficult to play.
Right. So that means that after Friday, both the Leviathans and the Jade Dragons had gone to Worlds, and they were done for the weekend. Saturday, it was first Oni Warriors up against the Winter Dogs. This set was not easy for the Warriors. It was a 35-minute game into a 38-minute game into a 40-minute Winter Dogs victory, and then the Warriors kind of stopped messing around in Game 4 and won in 20 minutes. But I was talking to some other people about this. Do you, like, as a player, if you were prepping to play the Warriors the next day or something like that, like, or did this affect how you thought the next set would go for them? Like, does it matter how they win in a set like that?
Completely. I will say that as a player, if I was on Warriors, those games are not confidence boosters, which is the mental that we would have needed during that set. Because I think getting reverse swept, I think it was the day before. Maybe was it 2 days before or the day before?
2 days before.
Okay, 2 days before. You definitely need a mental cleanser.
It was Wednesday to Saturday, so it was actually a few days before.
Oh wow, okay. You definitely need like a mental booster. I didn't know it was that long, but I still agree that I think you just need a mental booster, and those games are not boosting. Like, if you're struggling that much against a team you should be dominating, that's not making you feel good. Game 4 probably gives them a bit of a boost, but even still, I don't know. Those games should feel so much cleaner unless you're just like trolling and playing loose.
Yeah, agreed.
Which for a team like Warriors, they should not be doing. During that, yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely don't think that was the case. I feel like it would have been really easy for them to get a boost if they had just signed up for Mint Mobile. Hey, Barra, did you know that this holiday season the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile? They would have been feeling really good if they had simply realized that by going online, Mint Mobile has eliminated the traditional costs of retail and passed significant savings onto them. That all plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. They might have realized even that they could have kept their own phone number with any Mint Mobile plan and the same phone along with all of their existing contacts. So maybe that's the boost they should have gone for. And if that sounds good to you, chat. Oh, Barra, go ahead.
I watched. Well, wait, never mind.
No, please. By all means.
No, I can't.
No, by all means, go ahead.
Well, it might sound like I was driving unsafe. So
okay.
I was listening. I wasn't watching. I was listening to a Chris Halo stream at 1080p on the way home from the gym today. So I was not watching.
Right. Only at the red lights, like.
Yeah, not even at the red lights.
Oh, okay, not even there.
I'm a very, very, very safe driver. I was listening to the Halo tournament at top quality with no drops.
No drops at all. And Barra is a Mint Mobile lover. He and Destiny absolutely love Mint Mobile. For a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months for free by going to mintmobile.com/backliners. That's mintmobile.com/backliners. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/backliners. All right,
that's me one of the easiest stocking stuffers, by the way.
Yes.
If you need a last minute gift, just do that.
There it is.
Super easy.
There it is. That's definitely the way to do it. All right. Then it was Sleekness versus the Valks. This set was something, man. This set, dude, games 1 and 2, if you had taken the nameplates off, games 1 and 2, I'd have been like, damn, this team that's winning both these games, they're playing well. They look like a team that has, been playing all year, that, is doing some weird stuff with their picks, but overall, just playing really well. I mean, Oath's Alquang game was nuts. It was so troll. I don't know if you were like listening to the cast, but I literally spend, so for a little bit of casting note, what I want to do as a chair 2, as an analyst, is I don't want my play-by-play person to have to talk at all from a team getting Fire Giant and they like end the call. I want to talk from the time they back until they're at the Phoenix line. So because there's nothing that the chair 1 can be saying, that I should just be setting up how the siege is going to go, what happened in the last fight, all that kind of stuff. So I want to be talking that entire time. I end my monologue by saying, normally you'd want your Alquang to just like push down mid Phoenix by themselves, but it's pretty tough to just beat a Loki in a 1v1. Like, Loki shouldn't lose that 1v1. So that should be tough. And I stopped talking, and Oath insta-kills Ice by himself. And I was like, great, now I look stupid. Thanks,
I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh my. I mean, it was... I'm not a jungle player, but I feel like that should not be happening.
Oh, no, it definitely should not be happening.
Was it EFG or just FG?
The game ended at 28 minutes, so it was just regular FG.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that shouldn't happen like that.
Yeah, it just can't happen. But, sometimes it do. Oath was absolutely popping off. And then games 3 and 4, the Valks, this Valks draft, in general, doesn't look like anything super special on its face. It's just like an Athena Afro comp. They've got Gilgamesh as well, so like some good link targets, that kind of stuff. But Raph just like hard carries this game. Just dashes in. They keep getting multi-man taunted. There's a lot of stuff there. Like they just keep getting taunted and taunted and taunted and taunted. And I'm thinking, okay, got a little. They really looked like an SCC team that game. Like, just did not know how to handle the Athena at all. And I'm like, surely they will simply ban Athena. They don't. They run it back. And I think they actually, this is going to sound more toxic than I mean it to, but I think they may have played worse around the Athena the second time. Which is actually, like, just really confused me. Bro, there was one. I know Dude Man Bro's in the chat. Dude Man Bro absolutely went completely insane. Played so well this entire postseason. But when I watched Dude Man Bro, when they were sieging with fire, when I watched Dude Man Bro with no beads sit underneath a tier 2 when his whole team isn't there and get dash taunted, my brain nearly melted out of my ears. Like, I would lose my mind at, like, someone in my ranked game for letting that happen. Let alone, these are Worlds qualifiers, Barry. These are supposed to be the best teams in the world. And he was there getting dash taunted under a tier 2. Like, what is he doing? He could have turned in dash. Athena dash is not that fast. Raffer's playing from Europe. Like, dash away. Like, he didn't even have blink.
I got nothing. I can't help out my ADC brethren here. I really can't, you know. I literally,
it was so hard to not be toxic, like, on the cast. To be fair, my beads were in 10 seconds. Awesome.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
Awesome. Yeah, baby.
That didn't help your case. That did not help your case. Yeah. That made it worse. That made it so much worse.
Yeah. They're up in 10. That means we should stand there. That means we should stand right there.
That means we're fully aware of the situation.
Bro, I was losing it.
No.
I'm sure. What were you? He says I was baiting,
Oh,
yo. What were you baiting,
stop.
bro? There was no one there from your team. What is going on? Okay, I can't talk about it anymore. Game 5. Game 5. Sleekness finally just ban Athena. I actually think that the Valks picking Sobek was like really smart because it fills the exact same role as Athena.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really intelligent drafting from them. Ducky was going absolutely hammy salami this game too on the Thor.
Oh yeah. Yep.
This was the best game I've ever seen Ducky play. By far.
Okay. No troll, last year I told Ducky he should only play Thor. Or like something along those lines. Because his Thor solo makes so many plays.
Yep.
And I feel like I instantly become like a gigantic Ducky fan whenever he picks Thor. Like he just makes so many plays. It's like Thor and Wukong, I think.
Yep.
He's just making plays. He's making room. And I feel like on most other characters, he just doesn't have that style for some reason.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I'm not sure like what happened this year, obviously, like whatever.
Sure.
But his Thor was just disgusting. Like that was so good.
He was going absolutely off. That was Ducky's best game I've ever seen him play individually. And it sucks to go out on a loss, bro. How about the end of this game, man? My God, whoever.
Oh my.
Look, I understand the Valkyrie situation. I get it. However, whoever called,
my entire team was screaming. By the way,
whoever called to do Pyromancer.
Yeah.
Should have to do like community service. Like, I'm not gonna say go to jail, but I'm gonna say community service. That call was bad. Like it was a bad call. I mean, Nehu makes the right call. He pushes up. Dude Man Bro's getting in there. There's no doubt about that.
We already know.
You already know.
Regardless of beads or not.
Regardless of beads or not, that clearly does not matter. That we're not even factoring that in. Or if the team is there, But I mean, who did they pick? They picked someone too at the Valkyrie.
Yeah, they picked OC for free.
Yeah, they picked Oath for free. For free. They still had everything.
Oh my.
And then that Pyromancer call is truly one of the most egregious I've seen in my time casting. It was really
good. It was the entertainment value was through the roof. As a professional player watching that, or I guess for you, a caster watching, I don't know if you were casting that.
I was casting that.
Oh goodness.
I was losing my mind.
Oh, you also casted the. Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah, and let me tell you. A
lot of help after this week.
Yeah, watching this set with my balls hurting the whole time. It was an experience for sure. It was an experience.
Can you imagine? Okay, I don't know if Sleekness was watching them do pyro, but can you imagine if they were and they're like, the door's wide open at the Titan, by the way. They're only doing pyro.
Yeah, we could just put, they've got a Morrigan with Poly. They're gonna push that. Nehu could have gotten that and then gotten to EFG in time to fight.
Yeah.
So that's why the pyro call is so bad. But then the call to go for the end is one that is Sleekness in its call. That is a risky play and was as close as humanly possible. As close as humanly possible.
I want to say as well that people that were coming out of base, I want to say they missed Afro Kiss and maybe 2 auto attacks on Nehu.
And those, every single point of damage mattered, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if Nehu, by the way, I don't know if Nehu did this intentionally, but if so, he's actually the smartest player I've ever seen in my life. Did you notice that the way he positioned his dash was so that his autos would bounce off the back Phoenix wall and return to Titan faster, so they didn't have to go the full distance? And that's the only reason he ended.
Oh, that's a cute fun fact.
He ricocheted them off the wall in order to do it. He said that was not intentional. I respect your honesty, Nehu, but we can all pretend that it was, and that was Like, I watched it back, and I was like, oh my god, that is so smart. Like, that is so smart.
I want to say he missed an auto attack after the dash. I want to say his first auto might have missed. I don't know. In those situations, you really can't judge. Because you know,
can,
like...
And you should. Well, I will,
I don't
because
think
that's
you
my job.
should. Yeah, I mean, you can. But as a player, I don't think... Like, I don't know. It's so... I don't know. Things are happening in ways during those plays that normally would not be happening. So it's fun to, like, really break it down, but as a player, I don't like doing that because I know what it's like to be in those situations and how most people react in those situations. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if they even lose if that play doesn't go well because Valkyries had all backed. None of them had EFG. If the Titan lives on 1 HP, like, they could probably... Oath can just walk in with Camazotz and kill it.
Yep.
So, you know, that I don't think they would have lost, but a crazy way for that set to end. Very, very fun for that to end. And we joke all the time. One of John Finch's favorite bits was that if a team lost the first 2 games in a best of 5 and then won the next 2, they had better win game 5, or else all they've done is waste our time. He was really big on that, and we'd say that all the time. And in some ways, the Valks just wasted our time there, but that game 5 ending may have made it worth it.
That game 5 ending is definitely going in the history books of just like question mark, exclamation point of just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Oh, it's working? Oh, they won? Like, it's stuff like that. It's just fun to watch.
Very fun ending for sure. All right, then on to today. Solar Scarabs and Oni Warriors was the first set of the day. Actually, let's talk about your set first because it'll be quick. You guys, it'll be quick just like the set. Sorry, sleekness, fellas. Yeah, I feel like I don't even have anything else to say about this matchup. Like, you guys just came in, you played better. The end. And it,
basically.
Really close.
Off of the Dragon set, I thought Cygnus... Well, the Dragon set and the way they played in certain moments in the land before this, I was really, like, dissecting how they were playing and how they were going to play. And against Dragons, I think they played relatively well as well. They were making picks and everything, but I think they did the Oxygen Supremacy strat here, and they just completely messed up their picks and bans in all 3 games.
Yeah,
and
I didn't like any of these drafts.
Yeah, I don't think it fits their identity, as we discussed earlier.
Yep.
I think that they just picked a style of team comp that's not theirs, and then they tried to play against us, who have literally been scrimming against those style of team comps for a long time.
Yep.
So if you're not like masters of those styles of team comp, we're not going to give you room. Like, you're not going to be able to play the game. And we wanted to practice the E set today and just like get some reps in on it. We haven't played much of it. I think Jake's played like 1 game of it, and we knew that Quig played it and liked it, so we wanted to see like how it worked for us basically, and did like test the waters during the match. It seemed to work pretty well. I think we were out of position a bit on it, or like trying to look for plays we shouldn't have been looking for sometimes. But it was nice to get in some reps with the ESET support, in case we pull it out at Worlds or whatever.
Yeah, I think
I think for sleekness, they just should have drafted their identity and their style instead of like trying to adapt to like the current meta or whatever.
Agreed. Yeah, definitely agree with that. All right, Scarabs Warriors. This set was wild. Game 1. I don't know if the Warriors were in their own heads to begin with, but like this, they were like barely here for this game. This is the game that I was talking about where they built really poorly. I mean, they're against Terra, Freya. They have 0 anti-heal, literally 0. No Ankh, no Brawlers, no Divine, no Pesty. No idea how that
was their team comp?
They had an Odin. It was on her, Xingchen, Odin, Fenrir, Izanami.
That team comp's so bad.
Yeah, I don't love this team comp.
Wait, is this just is that the game where Sot just went like 5 Fizzy items and never done?
Yep.
Yeah, like that. It's such, I don't know, that those team comps can work if the on-her gets like super fed or the Izanami gets super fed. But at SPL where everyone's playing so safe, those situations don't really arise.
Yeah, and the Warriors just never wanted to play aggressively ever. So they can't get fed if you're not getting them fed.
Yep.
And they just never were, for sure. Game 2, they win this game. Again, to the first like 15 minutes, they did absolutely nothing. But eventually they turn it around. I thought Neil really hard carried this game on Yamoja. He did really well. Dardes had a very good Zeus game. And again, you know, I look at what the war, you know, talking about our team identity thing. The Solar Scarabs are a death ball team. They pick death ball comps. Yep. They just want to group up and they want to run at you as 5. That's why Sylvanas works for them. That's why Kali works for them. That's why, you know, Sot on these, you know, this Nike and that kind of stuff. Like, they want to just group up and run at you. And surprise, surprise, when the Oni Warriors pick stuff like Zeus and Gilgamesh and Yamoja, that dumpster comps that run at you, they crush them in every single team fight. And it was all just because of stylization of their comp. So I'm like, okay, great. Surely they're going to draft more like AoE again in game 3. Wrong. They draft the Morrigan, and Dardes is sick on the Morrigan. Totally sick. But when you're, you know, they don't ban Zeus. They don't make that adjustment. And when the enemy team, their top 3 were Amuz and Cobb, Artio, Terra. AMC is never going to be alone in a team fight. He's got to be next to people.
Yep.
And a Terra comp means they're going to run at you. That's what they're going to do.
Yep.
And so I see Terra, and that's where they picked Morgan right after that. I know Zeus doesn't do super well into Terra or Artio, but I was just so surprised they didn't just take an AoE mage right there. Like, that's what won them the last game, was AoE team fight comp. And then they pick a Morrigan composition that it's going to be hard to do something with. And by the way, every fight they won that game through the mid game where Dardes was hard carrying was because he was turning into Zhang Kui and AoE maging them. So maybe they should have had that the whole time.
Was that the game where you had the clutch Titan defense and then the same situation happened like a few minutes later and then you got insta-gived right when you
Yes, literally insta-kill.
Yeah,
insta-kill.
So I didn't watch much of this set. We were listening to it while like warming up and talking about our set.
Sure.
So I didn't actually get to watch, but I heard you yelling, I think. And I heard my teammates yelling a lot about this set. And
this set was wild. You should definitely go back and watch it.
Yeah. I'll watch it back like tomorrow probably for like entertainment factor.
It'll be there. It'll be there for sure. I mean, this...
Oh, no. I just remember Dardes' death. Oh, on Disco. I don't remember which game. Was it 3 or 4?
4 was when he was playing Disco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that death where he had both relics behind Fire
Giant.
Yep. Oh, man. That one hurt me so much.
Absolutely brutal. Oh. I mean, Vote played really well. You have to watch the last EFG, man, because it was the biggest fiesta.
Oh, I think I actually did watch that. Yeah, where they stood on Fire Giant Wall for like 5 or 10
was
seconds.
Just hanging out on Fire Giant Wall. Like,
something's burning.
Yeah.
It's 5 feet.
It's luckily you'd been using Manscaped, am I right?
Yeah, that was one of the worst Fire Giant dances I have ever watched. No offense to either team, but I think Warriors played that like just criminally messy. Like that Fire
I really
Giant.
feel like Vote, they just got so locked in on EFG. Vote was doing so much damage at that point. I wish he would have just gotten off, got undebuffed from it, and just killed everyone. Because I really think he would have killed everyone. Like, the only people that were healthy were Frontline, and Frontline could not kill Vote at that point. He was like full build. I think he had a 3k pot. Like, Frontline can't kill you.
Yep.
And Baronic was like 2 autos from death. So... I don't know, man. That was really tough. I mean, that game, I think as soon as they lost that game, I knew the Warriors were probably toast. And I think they played much better in game 5 or game 4 than I expected. But, you know, when you come back from the 3 Phoenixes down, You know, they almost killed your Titan. Dardaz does the defense. You know, everyone's playing really well. They're, you know, I thought that they got an EFG that they really didn't play super well, but, you know, they still got 2 Phoenixes. And I think that just drains so much from you. Like, you're really pulling on the reserves in order to get to that point. And then to still lose a 52-minute game. Yeah, I just did not think that they were going to be able to come back.
I completely agree with you, and I base mine completely off of the way I saw them looking in their player cams.
Yeah,
like,
they look depressed, bro.
Sometimes you can just tell, and I was like, oh man, I genuinely feel bad for them right now. Like,
yep.
I don't know, you could just, I think Nika shows it a lot in his face, like, for what's happening, and that man looks so, like, stressed, sad, angry here and there.
Yeah,
like
that's tough. I think a lot of people would do it that way.
I think Warriors are so much better than, I think on paper that's a roster that can potentially win Worlds rather easily, in my opinion. Like if they
could be the best in the league for sure. Like 100%, they have that type of potential.
For them to have this kind of season and for them to go out this way is just a really just sad ending for me as like a fan of those players.
Yep.
And I mean, nothing against Scarabs. I think Scarabs are literally playing their best Smite.
Yep.
And probably deserve to qualify to Worlds anyways.
Yep.
Especially scrimming against them. Like, they were probably one of our hardest teams in scrims. Like, I don't know. Warriors, I hope, like, those players are in the league next year. But they just, I don't know. Their season should have been so much better.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a very sad ending. Like, probably on par with the ending for Cherry last year.
Yeah. Oh, that was so sad, dude. Oh.
I've never been so sad for someone that's not on my team before.
Yeah.
That ending was literally heartbreaking. Like,
yeah, it really was. Damn, I'm sad just thinking about it now.
Right? Like, I just hope those players, like, either get on a good team or stay together or whatever. Like, yeah. Enough of my sob story.
Agreed. No, and then game 4, I thought that they drafted better. I think Disco is a fine pick in that type of slot. I liked Neo going back to the Emojo a lot. It's comps that punish grouping up. I thought that I did not like the Scarabs draft at all. Again, because of Scylla, I think that she bad. But Baronic secured a couple of clutch objectives.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's good for their style of play, but not for most teams. Because right now they have, was it Splice? I mean, I guess like Splice and like PK did that style of just like the setup junglers with the secure objective mages.
Yep.
Like, I think secure objective mages get so much better when like Worlds happen.
Yep.
Or when, like, whenever the game slows down a lot, I think secure mages are so much better because it makes those, like, we can do Gold Fury, we can do Fire, we can do Pyro so much easier. Whereas if you have like a 800 damage secure, it gets so much scarier. Or like even like a 600, 700, like I can crit and I can ruin the secure. Or like I can not crit and ruin the secure. Like, it's all in the air when we're doing fires like that. But if you have a mage that can secure like 1700, like something crazy, you are always feeling confident in the situation. It's just like, oh, we can girdle, we can get this before they come in. Like, keep the zone up. And I think for the way they're playing right now, which is very objective based, I think Scylla's very good. But I do agree with you. I think Scylla for most teams and for most situations is a rather poor performing god right now.
Yeah, Baronic also did 12k damage in a 41-minute game on Scylla. So, and Hurry kind of did the same thing. Like, we've just kind of seen. You know, I just don't, like, I think you're basically fighting 4v5 most of the time, but if you win that fight or you can get positional advantage around fire, it's really good. In all other situations, I think it might just be too bad.
Yep.
But, you know, maybe Paul will just pull it out and hit everything and kill everyone by himself, and I'll look dumb, which I am down for. But yeah, turning point, obviously, the unfortunate situation to Dardaz dies with his stuff up, got knocked up. Brutal. Just brutal way to go out for the Warriors. Like, I tweeted it that, you know, I definitely feel for them. I know a lot of them said on Twitter that they're hoping they stay together and that kind of stuff. I hope they do too. I think that this team definitely has potential, and hopefully the situation is better next year where they can shine a little bit more. All right, that's placements, which means we only have the Smite World Championship to go. Barry, we're almost done with this season, which is crazy to think about.
Kind of sad.
Yeah, kind of sad, but I get excited for the season to be over because it means a new season and a whole bunch of new stuff, and it's the cycle of rebirth. That's the way it works.
That's a good way to put it.
That's
I like that.
All right, let's do our random question of the week, which I clearly have not thought of. I feel like I did this last year, but I'm going to do it anyways. You can tell me if you remember answering this question.
Okay.
Going on a road trip back to Pittsburgh to see my family for the holidays and that kind of stuff. 12-hour car ride, which is always a good time, especially when it hurts to exist. What are your favorite road trip tips and things you do on road trips?
Honestly, all I do is sleep and play phone games. Also, you should have good etiquette as the passenger. And you should keep the driver as entertained as you possibly can. I think that is very good passenger etiquette. If you get in that seat and you're asleep in 10 minutes, I am mad at you. Because I have to drive for like hours alone because you are just sleeping over there. So you should do whatever you can to entertain the driver, and whoever's driving, the passengers should be nice and keep them entertained. Or go on a podcast, because music gets boring.
Yeah, music gets too boring.
It's like 30 minutes in, you're like, okay, I'm already bored of music. I don't know why. I can drive like 45 minutes or an hour and get there, and I'll listen to music the whole time. But on a long car ride, music gets so boring so fast.
Yes,
where you're just so
boring.
You need something else. You need more like stimulation.
Yep, agreed. Everyone's saying that it is a repeat question, so maybe I'll try and think of another one. But Percy says it took 71 episodes for us to repeat one. Is this episode 71? I was thinking the other day that I don't know which number episode this is, because we got to get something going for the 100th episode.
Bro. Oh, dude. We could do the Hot Ones episode.
Oh, true. We could do the Hot Ones episode.
Just put me some spicy tofu. I'll be good.
All right. Yeah.
That would actually be a lot of fun.
That would be fun. All right. According to your YouTube, it's episode 71. So there you go.
I know I have missed a few uploads, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have the prediction guys give us an official count. But that should be fun.
Hot Ones AMA episode sounds a lot of fun. We take like the best like 10, 15 questions.
Well, when we have to pre-screen the questions, I don't know if we could do it that way. I am excited for another AMA episode. I'm sure we'll do one during the off season. We have to do the Significant Others episode where we aren't on it at all, and Joe and Destiny do one. That'll be good. We've got some off season ideas, and by that I mean those are my two. So
if you have any more off-season ideas, chat, please let us know.
Yeah, if you have any more off-season ideas, please let us know, for sure. Maybe we do a whole no Smite, only life advice episode. Oh,
no.
And we just give people life advice the whole time, because as we know...
we're very qualified.
Yeah, I love giving life advice, even though I am definitely horrible at it. A game design episode, AJ, please, yes. Every time we've had a designer on, they have been some of our most popular episodes, for sure. So
all the designers are very, good for content. They are so good at talking. We get a designer on here, and then we just sit back and
both of us are just like, yes, talk to us about design and how and all that kind of stuff.
They're all so passionate. It's so easy. So easy.
Yep, absolutely love it. So we'll definitely do one of those. But all right, a different random question of the week that I can't think of on the spot. Who cares? We just repeated one. We've done 70-something episodes, chat. Get over it,
Yeah, also, this is a very stressful week for both of us.
Yes.
Agger in particular.
Yes.
So, there's a lot going into this week for us.
Yes, agreed. Yeah. Get over it, chat. If you don't like it,
get over it, chat.
That's on you. And also have a great Christmas. Because it's Christmas next week.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We are going to be taking next week off because I'll be traveling. But I believe we will be doing another episode. Our next episode would be January 2nd, 2022. Crazy.
Wait, you mean 2020?
2022.
Yeah, no, you mean like 2020? Like 2022.
2022, Barra. Yeah, it's a
2022.
2022.
2020. Because the past 2 years haven't happened. We're still waiting for 2020 to happen, right?
Right. Yes, totally.
Because the last 2 years have felt like 2 months for me, so...
Yes. They have felt like 2 months and 2 decades simultaneously.
True. That is a good way to put it.
Which is great. Bear's birthday episode. That's right. That's going to be... your birthday is the 1st, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it'll be right after your birthday. I'm sure you'll be feeling really good after celebrating.
Yeah.
You'll definitely be in a great mood.
Of course.
And not feeling any sort of adverse effects from your celebration.
Yeah, that might be on the 3rd. We'll see. We'll let you know.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll not lock in a date, I suppose. We'll figure out what happens.
We can move it around a little bit.
We got some room,
Well, depending on what happens.
We'll move it around. So we will have a pre-Worlds episode, and then after that is the World Championship. And that'll be crazy. So again, everyone have a happy holidays. Be safe.
Please be safe.
Yeah.
Please.
Do not drink and drive. Call an Uber.
Yep.
Huge thing that is.
So I feel like with COVID dying down a little bit, I feel like people are going to go crazy. So please be safe.
Yeah, but
leaving
the thing
your house.
is, it's actually not really dying down because Omicron is actually owning us super hard.
Which sounds like a Transformer name.
It does. Omicron. Yeah. It's totally doing it.
I made that joke for
hard owned. So yeah, be safe. Yeah.
Yeah, so be very, very, very safe in that regard. I didn't know it was owning us that hard. I don't really keep up with it.
It's real bad. It's really bad.
Don't leave your house, chat. Stay inside.
Yeah, don't leave your house. Get your booster, all that kind of good stuff.
But which I will be getting very soon because I don't want to get it before. Actually, maybe I get it afterwards. I don't know. We'll see.
There you go. I'm boosted up. I'm all boosted and ready to go. So looking forward to it. But yeah, anyways, thanks everyone for watching. Have a great New Year and Christmas and all that kind of stuff. And we will see you in 2022. Barra, the last buy of 2021. Don't mess up.
Oh, am I good?
Yeah.
Oh, that was okay. Bye. Oh, so good.
You're happy with that? You're cool with that one being the last one?
Yeah.
You don't want to do over
what,
for
what do
any
you
reason?
mean? That was a good one. Bye. Is that better?
Yeah, I think that was better.
Okay. My throat's a little dry, so maybe I got the Omicron. The cron.
I'm gonna turn your mic off now.
Okay.